To be or not to be? That is the question.
Howdy, and welcome to the Texas Bucket List. My name is Shane McAuliffe, and believe it or not, back in my day, I did a little acting. Even won an award for Best Actor in UIL in 8th grade, so I knew I had some real talent. But acting wasn't in the cards for me. Turns out I wasn't theatrical enough, especially to perform something like Shakespeare. But over in Odessa, they love the playwright, so much so that it shows in a big way. Despite its rowdy, roughneck persona, Odessa has been expanding its horizons in many ways over the past few years. We've experienced the recent culinary creations this town has to offer, but one thing we've never checked off the list is a cultural hotspot on this side of the Petroplex. That was until we headed to Odessa College and came across the Globe Theater.
OC has a really good fine arts department, just all around, and the theater is a big part of that.
Randy Ham is the executive director of Odessa Arts, an organization that promotes the arts in Ector County.
I like to brag that I have the best job in Odessa because I get to dream about things and I get to make them happen.
When it comes to facilities that galvanize the creation of expression here, the Globe Theater is their crown jewel. Odessa is definitely starting to feel like jolly old England around here.
It is a little bit. We have Stonehenge and we have the Globe. I like to say that the two colleges are competing for the award of Best Anglophile in Odessa.
Now, if you aren't into the Renaissance, poets, plays, or just history in general, the Globe is a reproduction of William Shakespeare's famous theater in London, England, that was first built in 1599. The Globe in Odessa was completed in 1968. From pictures I've seen, this looks like the Globe in England.
It's pretty close.
It's nice to see you guys put a roof on it.
Yes, we love the roof.
Have you ever had a chance to go to the Globe in England? Or?
I have not, but it's on my bucket list.
The original Globe Theater could fit around 3,000 folks. The one in West Texas fits a tad under 400, but the layout is so close to the original that when the Globe was rebuilt in London in 1997, they came to Odessa to see how us Texans totally nailed it.
When Shakespeare's Globe burned down, and they were rebuilding it, one of the things that the architects did was fly to Odessa, Texas, and spend a week in our theater taking measurements, taking photos, looking at the blueprints, because while it's not to scale, is one of the most accurate replicas of the Globe that's been constructed.
Wow.
This is, yeah.
Crazy. I feel like we're really in England now.
Exactly. I'm telling you, we are Anglophiles around here. We want to be in England so bad, we just build London around us.
There's even a replica of Shakespeare's wife's home here.
So this is the Anne Hathaway cottage. It was built in 1988, so It was an addition, and that's also when they added the courtyard here.
Tell me there's a pub in here.
I wish.
While there aren't any pints in this old English-style home, there is one very interesting painting of Shakespeare. You can tell it was painted in 1974.
Yes, it was definitely a product of its time, isn't it? Yeah.
This whole Shakespearean complex all started with a local teacher, Marjorie Morris. Her West Texas tenacity got this crazy idea done.
Marjorie Morris was an English teacher at Odessa High School in the 1960s and basically woke up one morning deciding that what West Texas needed more than anything else was a replica of Shakespeare's Globe. And she went out and made that happen. I love to point out this painting because for me, it's a life goal to be eccentric enough to have a painting of myself in full Elizabethan regalia. So this is not what she wore on opening night, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's something that she wore around the house on like Tuesdays. Marjorie came to every opening night until the day that she passed away. And she sat front row center in a gold lame gown and a tiara on her head and just basked in the glow of her success.
Very fancy. You would have thought this was a Renaissance woman here, but
yeah.
I guess she kind of was.
She was the Renaissance woman of West Texas for sure.
Twice a year, Odessa College puts on a production here, but the biggest bash is the Shakespeare Festival held every November.
When you see 3,000 students come through the doors of the Globe for the Shakespeare Festival and they see professional Shakespeare performed in a replica of Shakespeare's Globe, you see how theater and the arts can really impact a life in a positive manner. For me, it's a really great way to reintroduce Shakespeare to the masses.
For who would not enjoy such a display? With such a wide wealth of range you'll find here, 'tis impossible not to enjoy it.
It's hard to decipher iambic pentameter on the page, but if you see it in the context which it was written, which is on a stage with actors and costumes and sets and things, you would be surprised at, number one, how much of it you understand, how funny some of it is, how tragic some of it is, and how relevant it is still today.
While not everyone is into Shakespeare, there's no doubt you've used one of his phrases. Some say Shakespeare contributed more phrases to the English language than anyone else, and chances are you've heard some of them on this show. Like a foregone conclusion, all of a sudden, all that glitters is not gold, bated breath, in a pickle, and et tu, Brute? Alright, I don't think I've uttered that phrase before. Either way, seeing this incredible stage, dedicated to one of the greatest storytellers of all time, is well worth broadening your horizons for on the Texas bucket list.
Theater teaches us something about ourselves. We see something that we relate to, or we see a situation, and we see how the characters respond to different situations, and we can collectively experience something that nobody else will experience. I mean, no matter how many times you come to the Globe, each theatrical experience is unique because the audience is different, the cast is different. That group of people will never be the same again.